The Cubs had a 3-game series against the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going to go over all 3 of those games, look at what went right, what went wrong. All of that is happening on this episode of Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 20 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like, subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Philadelphia Phillies series against the Cubs. And let's just go over all 3 of these games. So in game number 1, we're going against Zach Wheeler. So right off the bat, I talked about it in the Tiger series. We go against Tarek Skubal and Jack Flaherty. And to start out this series, you're going against Zach Wheeler. Nonetheless, let's look at it right now. To start off in the top of the first, Ian Happ struck out swinging, but then Kyle Tucker hits a home run to right field to make it 1-0 Chicago right off the bat. Suzuki struck out looking and PCA struck out swinging. In the bottom of the frame with Matt Boyd pitching for the Cubs, Turner pops out to short, Schwarber will ground out to first, Alec Bohm will hit a base hit to right, and Castellanos flies out to center. In the top of the second, Swanson lines out to center, Bush struck out swinging, Kelly is safe at first on a fielding error by Kemp, who plays third here. And Horner will ground it to a fielder's choice to short, and Kelly's out at second. In the bottom of the frame, Realmuto will ground out to short, Sosa will hit a base hit to right, and he's out stretching at second, and Kemp will fly out to second. In the top of the third, Shaw will ground out to third, Happ fouls out to third, and Tucker will get walked, but then Suzuki flies out to left. In the bottom of the inning, Wilson will fly out to center, Rojas pops out to second, Turner will hit a base hit to right, and he got picked off at first, and then Matthew Boyd was pitching to Schwarber. In the top of the fourth, PCA flew out to center. Swanson lines out to third. Bush will line out to right. In the bottom of the frame, Schwarber will get walked, and then Bohm will hit a base hit to left and send Schwarber to second. And then Castellanos will hit a base hit to left so the bases are loaded. And then Realmuto will ground it to a fielder's choice to third, and Schwarber will score. And Castellanos was out at second. Bohm will go to third. And then Sosa will ground it into a double play. Realmuto's out at second, Sosa at first to end the inning. In the fifth inning now, Kelly struck out swinging. Nico Horner grounds out to second. Shaw will hit a base hit to right, and Ian Happ struck out swinging. In the bottom of the inning, the fifth inning, Kemp will hit a base hit to center, and he goes to third on a pickoff error by Matt Boyd. Wilson will hit a base hit to right, which will score Kemp to make it 2-1 Phillies. Rojas will hit a sac bunt to Boyd, and Wilson will go to second. Turner will ground out to third, and Schwarber will get walked. Then Bohm will fly out to center. In the top of the sixth now, Tucker will strike out swinging. Suzuki hits a base hit to center. PCA flies out to right. And Suzuki went to second on a wild pitch by Zach Wheeler. And Swanson flew out to left to end the inning. In the bottom of the sixth now, Castellanos will hit a double to left. Realmuto grounds out to third. Sosa will ground out to third as well. And then Kemp will line out to center. In the top of the seventh, with Banks pitching for the Phillies now, Bush will ground out to second. Kelly flies out to right. Horner will line out to third. 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies. In the bottom of the seventh, with Ryan Presley pitching for the Cubs, Marsh will pinch it for Wilson, and he hits a base hit to right. Rojas will hit a sac bunt to the pitcher, and Marsh will go to second. Turner will get hit by the pitch. Kyle Schwarber will strike out swinging, and Alec Bohm struck out looking. In the top of the eighth, with Strahm pitching for the Phillies now, Marsh will go to left field. Shaw flies out to left, and Ian Happ hits a home run to left to tie it up at 2 apiece. Tucker will get walked, Suzuki lines out to left, and PCA lines out to center. In the bottom of the eighth, with Keller pitching for the Cubs, Castellanos will hit a base hit to left, and he's out stretching at second. Realmuto will hit a base hit to center, and Bryson Stott will pinch hit for Sosa, and he grounds it into a double play to end the inning. In the top of the ninth, with Kirk Herring pitching for the Phillies, Stott is at second. Swanson struck out swinging. Bush will fly out to center. Kelly will get walked, and Nico Horner grounds out to third. So in the bottom of the ninth, Keller still pitching for the Cubs. Kemp will reach on an infield single to the catcher. Marsh will ground it into a fielder's choice to second, and Kemp is out at second. And Kepler will pitch it for Rojas, and Pomeranz will now pitch for the Cubs, where Kepler will pop out to second, and Turner will ground it into a fielder's choice to short. Marsh is out at second. So we had the extra innings in the top of the 10th with Romano pitching for the Phillies. Marsh will go to center field, and Max Kepler will go to left. Matt Shaw will ground out to third. Ian Happ flies out to left, and Kyle Tucker flies out to left as well to end the inning. In the bottom of the 10th, with Palencia pitching for the Cubs, Schwarber got intentionally walked, and then Alec Bohm will ground it into a double play. Schwarber goes to second, and Turner is out at third. Castellanos will ground it out to third to end the inning there. As we head to the 11th inning with Hernandez pitching for the Phillies, Suzuki flies out to right, and PCA will hit a double to right to score Tucker to make it 3-2 Chicago in the 11th inning. And then he went to third on a wild pitch by Hernandez. Swanson struck out swinging, and Bush grounds out to short. Last licks for the Phillies in the bottom of the 11th with Palencia still pitching for the Cubs. Real Muto will hit a base hit to right to tie the game as Castellanos will score to tie it up at 3 apiece. Stott reaches on a bunt single to third. Real Muto will go to second. And then Kemp will reach on a bunt single to first, which will load the bases up. And Brandon Marsh will hit a base hit to center, which will score Real Muto and win the game for the Phillies as they win in 11 innings by a final score of 4-3. Palencia with a blown save there. He's had a couple of those here and there. Overall, he's been solid, but again, that is just a wasted opportunity, a squandered chance to get a very huge win against a top-tier contender in this league. And unfortunately, the Cubs choke away a game here. Like I said, losing 4-3, let alone because they were up 3-2 heading in the bottom of the 11th. That alone screams a blown save there. So, not a good result, but they kept in there. And again, game 1 to the Phillies in this series. And with that, we will head now to game number 2. So in game 2, Abel is pitching for the Phillies. Ian Happ pops out to second. Tucker will get walked. Suzuki hits a base hit to left, which will send Tucker to third. And then PCA grounds it into a double play to end the inning. In the bottom of the first, with Colin Ray pitching for the Cubs, Turner will line out to left. Schwarber struck out looking, and Bowman will hit a base hit to left, as well as Castellanos. Bowman will go to second. Then Stott will line out to left to end the frame. In the top of the second now, Dansby Swanson will hit a home run to center to make it 1-0 Chicago. Bush will strike out swinging. Nico Horner will get walked. And then Shaw will ground it into a fielder's choice to third. And Nico Horner's out at second. And then Reese McGuire will fly out to left. In the bottom of the second, Real Muto will hit a base hit to right. And Max Kepler hits a home run to right center to give the Phillies a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second. Kemp will fly out to right. Marsh will hit a base hit to left. Turner will pop out to second. Marsh will steal second. But then Schwarber struck out swinging to end the inning. To start off the third inning, Ian Happ will hit a home run to right to tie the game at 2 apiece. Kyle Tucker will strike out swinging. Suzuki grounds out to short. PCA flies out to center. In the bottom of the third, Bowman will ground out to second. Castellanos will ground out to third. And Bryson Stott will strike out swinging. In the fourth inning, Swanson will fly out to center. And then Mike Bush hits a home run to center to make it 3-2 Chicago. Nico Horner will hit a base hit to right. Matt Shaw flies out to center. McGuire will hit a base hit to right and send Horner to third. And then Happ will get walked. So there's 2 runners on, but then Kyle Tucker struck out swinging. In the bottom of the fourth now, Remuto got hit by the pitch, and then Keller grounds it into a double play, and then Kemp struck out swinging. In the top of the fifth now, with Banks pitching for the Phillies, Suzuki fouls out to the catcher, PCA flies out to right, and Swanson will hit a base hit to center, but then Mike Bush grounds out to second. In the bottom of the fifth now, Brandon Marsh will hit a double to left. Turner will hit a base hit to left, which will send Marsh to third, so you have runners in the corners. Turner stole second. Schwarber struck out swinging, and then Brazier will pitch for the Cubs as Bohm will hit a base hit to center, which will score Marsh and Turner, and will send Bohm to second, so it's 4-3 Phillies, and they retake the lead. Castellanos struck out swinging, and Stott struck out looking. In the top of the sixth, Walker now pitching for the Phillies. Rojas will go to center field. Nico Horner will foul out to first. Shaw will hit a base hit to left. McGuire will ground it to a fielder's choice to second. And Matt Shaw is out at second. And then Ian Happ with the second home run of the game to make it a 2-run shot. And now the Cubs retake the lead. So both teams are playing hot potato with the lead here. As Happ, like I said, hits a 2-run shot to right to make it 5-4 Chicago. And then Kyle Tucker struck out looking. Thielbar is now on the bump for the Cubs in the bottom of the sixth. Realmuto will ground out to short. Kepler will fly out to right. And then Kemp struck out swinging 1-2-3 inning there. Ross pitching for the Phillies in the top of the seventh. Suzuki struck out swinging. PCA grounds out to first. Swanson will get walked, and Mike Bush struck out looking. In the bottom of the seventh, with Keller pitching for the Cubs, Rojas struck out swinging. Turner will line out to right, and Schwarber grounds out to third. In the top of the eighth now, Horner will hit a base hit to center. Shaw lines out to short, and McGuire will hit a double to center, which will score Nico Horner to make it 6-4 Chicago. Ian Happ will get walked, and then Hernandez is on the bump for the Phillies now. Kyle Tucker will hit a single to right, which will score McGuire. Happ will go to second, so it's 7-4. And then Seiya Suzuki will hit another base hit to left, which will score Ian Happ, and Tucker will go to second to make it 8-4 Chicago. Suzuki will steal second, and Tucker will steal third. So now you have two runners in scoring position. But PCA pops out to first, and Dansby Swanson struck out swinging. So in the bottom of the eighth, Ryan Presley is now on the bump for the Chicago Cubs. Alec Bohm will hit a base hit to right. Castellanos struck out looking. Stott will ground it to a fielder's choice to short, and Bohm is out at second. And then Real Muto will hit a base hit to right. Stott will go to second, and Kepler will ground out to first. As we head to the top of the ninth now, Bush will pop out to short. Nico Horner will ground out to third, and Shaw flies out to left. In the bottom of the ninth, last looks for the Phillies with Flexen pitching for the Cubs. Kemp will fly out to center. Rojas will ground out to third. Turner will get walked, and he goes to second under fielder's indifference. But then Schwarber flies out to left to end the game. The Cubs take Game 2 of the series by a final score of 8-4. The winning pitcher goes to Thielbar, 2-1 for him, and Walker with the loss. He's 2-5 on the year. So my 3 stars for this game, I think are pretty straightforward. I don't think I could have given this to a pitcher because the pitching stats weren't amazing per se. So my 3rd star, nonetheless, will go to Mike Bush, who went 1 for 5 with a home run and an RBI. My 2nd star went to Dansby Swanson, who went 2 for 4, also with a home run and an RBI. But the 1st star goes to none other than Ian Happ, who went 2 for 3 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. He's really been heating up as of late as well. So props to Ian Happ. And again, Cubs take Game 2 of the series by a final score of 8-4. They have a chance to take the series against the Phillies in game number 3. So in game 3, Luzardo pitching for the Phillies. Luzardo was a trade candidate for the Cubs this past offseason. He went to the Phillies. And this is a second straight series where the Cubs are going against 2 of their opponent's top pitchers. Obviously with the Tiger series, it was Flaherty and Skubal. In this Phillies series, it was Zach Wheeler in the first game and Luzardo in the final one. Anyways, Ian Happ struck out swinging, as well as Tucker. Suzuki reaches on an infield single to short, and Dansby Swanson fouls out to right. In the bottom of the first, Ben Brown pitching for the Cubs. Turner will hit a base hit to left. Schwarber will get walked, and Turner will go to second. And Schwarber stole second, and Turner stole third. Bohm will ground out to third, which will score Turner to make it 1-0 Phillies. Castellanos struck out swinging. Kepler will hit a double to center, which will score Schwarber to make it 2-0 Phillies. And then Real Muto will reach on an infield single to second, and Max Kepler will score to make it 3-0 Phillies in the first inning. And then Stott struck out swinging. As we head to the top of the second, Kelly will hit a base hit to left, as well as Turner. So there's 2 runners on. Nico Horner struck out swinging, as well as Shaw and Bruhan. So 3 straight outs, striking out swinging for the Cubs there as we head to the bottom of the second. Kemp will ground out to third. Rojas will ground out to short, and Turner fouls out to third. In the top of the third, Ian Happ will strike out swinging. Kyle Tucker will line out to center. And Suzuki struck out swinging there as we head to the bottom of the third inning now. Schwarber will hit a home run to right center field to make it 4-0 Phillies. Bohm will ground out to short. Castellanos will hit a triple to left. Kepler will get walked. And then Real Muto grounds it into a fielder's choice to third. And Kepler will go to second, but Castellanos is out at home. And then Stott flies out to center. As we head to the top of the fourth now, Dansby Swanson struck out swinging. Kelly will hit a double to center. Turner will ground out to second, and Kelly will go to third. And then Nico Horner will hit a double to left, which will score Kelly to make it 4-1 Phillies. And then Shaw grounds out to third. In the bottom of the fourth now, Kemp will hit a single to right. Rojas bunt grounds out to first. Turner will hit a double to right, which will send Kemp to third. Schwarber struck out swinging. Alec Bohm will hit a base hit to center, which will score Turner and Kemp to make it 6-1 Philadelphia. But then Castellanos struck out swinging as we head to the fifth inning. Bruhan will pop out to second. Ian Happ flies out to second. And Kyle Tucker struck out swinging. In the bottom of the fifth inning now, Kepler will fly out to short. Real Muto will fly out to right, and Stott flies out to left. In the top of the sixth now, Suzuki struck out swinging. Dansby Swanson flies out to center, and Kelly flies out to left. In the bottom of the sixth now, Kemp will strike out looking. Rojas will ground out to short. Turner will get walked, and that is the end of the night for Ben Brown as Cabrera will go on the bump for the Chicago Cubs, and Schwarber pops out to third. In the top of the seventh now, Lazar pitching for the Phillies. Luzardo's night is now over. Turner will pop out to first. Nico Horner will hit a base hit to right, and Shaw struck out swinging and then Brujan lines out to center. In the bottom of the 7th now, Bohm will hit a home run to left center field to make it 7-1 Philadelphia. Castellanos struck out swinging. Kepler struck out looking, but then Realmuto struck out swinging as we head to the top of the 8th now. Ian Happ will hit a double to center, and he's saved third on a fielding error by Rojas in center field. But then Kyle Tucker will ground out to first, which will score Happ to make it 7-2. Then Suzuki flies out to center. Swanson will hit a base hit to left, and Kelly will fly out to right. In the bottom of the 8th now, Pomeranz pitching for the Cubs. Stott will hit a base hit to right, and he got caught stealing second. And Kemp will fly out to left, and Rojas struck out swinging. So the last licks for the Cubs with Mercado pitching for the Phillies in the top of the 9th. Turner will fly out to center. Nico Horner will ground out to third. Matt Shaw will get walked, but then Brujan flies out to left to end the game. So the Philadelphia Phillies win the third and final game of the series 7-2, and they take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. So the Cubs lose 2 series in a row. So interesting fact there. Speaking of interesting facts, Luzardo, as you could probably guess, got the win here, his 6th win of the year. He went 6 innings pitched, only gave up 1 earned run, 5 hits, but that's not the kicker. Luzardo had 10 strikeouts in this game, so the Cubs really struck out a lot of times, way too many, to be quite honest with you, and the loss obviously goes to Ben Brown. Same thing with the Tiger series. The Philadelphia Phillies are a team that the Cubs are probably going to see at some point in October if the Cubs get to the division series, which is very possible. So I think it's a good evaluation to see how the Cubs could match up against such teams like the Phillies and even the Mets and the Dodgers if they were to face them at some point in October. That's if the Cubs get there. I know that's not a proper reflection to its full extent because there might be some roster moves between this series and October, and I definitely expect it for the Cubs. But nonetheless, there were some opportunities they had. They had some blown saves, obviously, in that first game. They looked good in the second one, and then their pitching just kind of didn't show up in this game, to be frank with you. So, nonetheless, the Phillies take 2 out of 3, and they win the series finale 7-2. And, there you go. That's what you got for this series for the Philadelphia Phillies series. This is my series recap for the Philadelphia Phillies series. Coming out simultaneously with this episode will be my series recap to the Pittsburgh Pirates series. That is a 4-game series. Considering the final scores of those games, it should be pretty quick, but nonetheless, that'll be coming out as well for all of you. So give me your thoughts on this series. If you're interested in the content, feel free to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Cubs360X. And that is all we have for you today. This is Jack from Cubs360. And as always, go Cubs, go.